All right, man. We gotta figure out how to open this thing up. So,
Yeah. All right, go ahead. I guess introductions. First things first. I suppose right now should be the only time we interface with the hypothetical viewing audience.
yeah.
Just introduce ourselves, and then from there we'll chat. Yeah.
All right. What's up, everybody? This is Fly on the Wall podcast by Sandman Creative Productions. All right, we got Aaron, and then my associate Phil. Tell us a little about yourself, Phil.
I am a young 22-year-old African American male living in the United States of America. I don't know what you want to hear, man. I mean, that's a big question. I guess just to tell me about yourself. So, what kind of details would you want to hear?
Yeah. Why should people be listening to you, man?
Why?
Yeah, really. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's actually a very good introductory topic. I'll say why. I'll say why I think people should listen to a lot more people in general. So not just myself, but perspective. Different perspectives being brought to the table help you, I guess, craft knowledge, help you wrap your mind around different things. And so in terms of perspective, I've been involved in like a lot of different things, like sports here, like different church organizations, different stuff with music and whatnot, and just doing those different things, you learn a little bit of stuff. And even so, like I don't have all the knowledge to present to anybody, but good questions to ask too. So just I guess the reason why you might listen to me is just food for thought. Yeah. Now, Mr. Aaron Brawley, tell me about yourself, man.
Man, I am a 21-year-old. Recently graduated from college in May 2020. That's actually where I met Phil. But yeah, I mean, just a young black male out here trying to, realizing honestly that I don't know everything that I thought I did. And as a young Christian man, there's a lot in this world that I'm still learning. I'm trying to think out of the box, Now, I want to invite people on that journey with me. I don't really like the traditional avenues and pathways of thought that are out there presented. Mm-hmm. That's why we get along so well, because we like to think unconventionally, and that's really what this podcast is for. We have amazing conversations where we go anywhere from talking about Roman architecture, right, to patterns that repeat themselves in the universe, all in the same conversation, in the creativity of God in it. And it's like there's not enough. I know there's more people like us, but there's just not enough voices out there that voice that opinion.
I don't meet them enough, so I guess this is a shout out to the void.
Right. So shoot, honestly, man, this is just an unconventional voice for some people who are looking to hear some voices that don't sound like everything else.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And let me go ahead and break down the name, right? So this is Fly on the Wall, podcast, and that's just because we thought, people typically like to just congregate around and just hear what we got to talk about for some reason. So shoot, we figured we might as well put a name to it. But even bigger than that was the Sandman, right? And we got Sandman really just because of the implications it has to do with God of dreams. And that's really what we are, man. We're just some young, hungry, ambitious dudes trying to make it out in this world, but we're just dreamers. Idealistic sometimes, learning definitely. But we just want to invite you on that journey. All that
definitely thirst for knowledge, 100%.
All right, so Bill, I think you said you had.
I've been wanting to ask you, man, because it's like what's today's date? The 14th. Wow, the 14th. Is that something we need to have something we could be Googling stuff off of on here, but what day last year did we declare a national state of emergency?
Bro, I'm pretty sure it was the 13th. I think it was a Friday.
It was a Friday because we were taking off for spring break.
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of it. I was I was in this Crim J class, and I was in the senior year, second semester of electrical engineering, and I had to take this non-credit elective or whatever. So I took Crim J 101, thinking it was gonna be a smooth course, and I get this teacher who was not smooth. But anyway, I had that course that morning. I had a paper due that morning. I woke up, my stomach was tripping, and I had like my internship later that day to go to after class. I was like, man, let me go ahead. It's the day before spring break. I'm gonna pull out my laptop and shoot some emails and got a stomach bug, not gonna make it today. I'm just gonna take off early for the break. I'm thinking I'm smooth, getting away with it, packing up my bags, and I'm driving off campus, and it's like,
Not knowing everybody else.
yeah, it's
Everybody
like
else.
national state of emergency, like get inside now, quarantine, like all that. I'm like, bro, this is my spring break. But anyway, it's been around 365 calendar days, man. So what I wanted to ask you is how have you been approaching the whole COVID thing this last year? You've been surviving, you've been thriving.
Surviving and thriving. That's what you're gonna go with.
Yeah, yeah,
Surviving and thriving. Okay.
yeah.
Jeez, man. I mean, honestly, you know what? If you had asked me that question about 3 days ago, definitely would have been surviving. Boy, we're trying to stay
Yeah,
afloat.
yeah, yeah.
No, definitely trying to stay afloat for a second. It
Uh
was
huh.
tough. Man, 2020, man, 2021. I've thrown so many hurdles my way, just unexpected, man. Some of it's just part of just growing up, being a man. I think, I always want to be honest. I'm a very idealistic guy,
Yeah.
um, and constantly I feel like having to come into collision with things that shake those things I'm striving to attain. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Things I want for my life. It's like the world constantly saying like you can't have them, but that's just not the way
Mhm.
I operate. Like for me, I've always been like if there's A or B options, if I don't like A or B, I'm gonna go for C. You
Yeah.
know, and it seemed like not only it seemed like man, just the desires I had for my life, the directions I wanted to go in different ways. Some of the things I even stood for have been attacked in these last couple of years. I mean,
Uh
I'm
huh.
sorry, whatever, 365 days. Um,
It's
and
felt like
it's
a couple
not
years.
it feels like
It's
I
felt
got
like
3 years
years.
on
It's felt like years for
there.
sure. For sure. It felt like years.
No, man, but man, God has been so faithful. And
Yeah.
okay,
There you go,
anyway,
bro. There you go. I thought you
this
drink your
allergy
tea.
season,
You
bro.
drink your tea. You had your water, bro. You ain't got no excuse now.
I know, but it's allergy season, man. Give me a break. Give me
Yeah,
a break.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
So, no, man, God has been so faithful, just leading me where He, as my shepherd, just make me learn to trust Him as my shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
He giving up some of these things that I've been holding on to, um, and yet God coming around and like literally showing me a better reality, and even the answers to some prayers. It's just like subvert my expectations on how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like it's definitely just been like a faith walking and learning to trust and not leaning on my own understanding, all that stuff. Um, and man, the last few days, I mean, I've been doing, I ain't even just struggling the last 365 days, but I hit a little rough patch. But the last few days, man, God has just come through on a lot of answered prayer requests. Just showed me that He got me. So I'm very grateful. I say I'm sorry. But
Yeah. 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 I feel that, man. Nah, it's definitely been a interesting point in time. Interesting point in time. And I will say this: ever since leaving school, we each have had some interesting developments
yeah,
in terms of like just the whatever. Because I hadn't seen you since in person. Truthfully, think about that. I'm just now thinking about that. I hadn't seen you in 366 days.
actually,
How
even
long
more.
it's been?
I left early for
You
that
left
surgery.
early?
I
What
left
happened?
days early. I had to get the surgery on my ankle.
Oh, that is right. You
I had
were
a whole
hobbling
broken
around.
ankle.
Yeah, bro. You had a rough time over going through, bro, because you did start the whole thing with an ankle surgery.
Yeah, I took an early start, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You started it all off with the ankle surgery. But me personally, man, it's like it's really been like I really don't know how to put it to words, man. It's just been like a very interesting um 366 days, man. Because like there's like if I don't know, like if I'm going to thrive, I feel like I have to. There has to be like some sort of like platform, like foundation for you to, you know what I mean? Like in terms of any endeavor, like any season of life you're in, like any type of thriving you have starts off like with the core foundation, and typically it's like like a next step in like faith, like in your walk, like growth in faith, or just like spiritual maturity or something of that nature. And so this past year, like I feel like externally, like I've been more in like in a survival state, meaning I I did get a job over the thingy, so that's a blessing. I can't complain about that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So got a job and then started working and everything, and yeah, I don't know. I've just been like a lot of perspective, like evolution, like a lot of change. I've been doing a lot of learning. I guess is the most imperative word here is like learning is what I've been doing. So I don't know, like maybe a little bit of I guess like thriving to a sense, maybe a little bit of surviving, but the thriving is definitely like on the precipice here.
Yeah, I mean, just I mean that's how life is, right? You
Yeah,
ebb and flow, and I think
yeah,
one thing you can start to realize you go through enough in life, um, and we've seen a lot for our age, right?
uh huh,
But so we've got a little bit of wisdom. But one thing you realize is that a lot of times the seasons of blessings aren't correspond to the seasons where you're just being thrashed through and
yeah,
through.
yeah. That is true. That is true. That is true. I'll like be going through situations in life now, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. I learned this very same thing in like fifth grade. Like something I learned in fifth grade will be like preparing me for a situation that I'm like encountering now. And I'm like, where was this in sixth grade?
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like why was this not applicable then? Or like, but I yeah, like did you get any did you develop any new like habits or anything? What if like I guess like any trades or anything like that, anything neat that you learned over the past year?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So, well, you know how we like mess with anime and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
You you been drawing?
no, I
Oh,
wish I did. I used to be
oh,
able to draw. I don't know if
yeah,
I told
yeah,
you,
yeah,
I
yeah,
used to draw,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember you told me that.
but that Duolingo learning Japanese.
Oh, you
Arigato.
still going with the Japanese?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right, give
Well,
me some.
I
Give me
just
some.
started.
Give me some. Give me some.
All right. Yeah, yeah, clear the throat. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody, let the audience be quiet. Type John. All right, all right, all right. So, hold on. Like if I were to say thank you or something like that, or like
hmm
thank you very much, like domo arigato gozaimasu. That would be like to show respect and honor to somebody. Like thank you so much to like an elder or whatever.
Okay. Say it again. A little slower.
Domo,
Domo.
yeah,
All right.
and then arigato.
I get the yeah, yeah, the arigato. I get that from yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I don't
That's the
know.
one thing you understand. Arigato sama.
Yeah, and then the last one's gozaimasu.
Okay. I heard the mas, but I never heard the gazai. I just
Mm.
heard arigato sama and then like arigato sama mas or something like that.
Actually, I don't even know why I said that one. That's just one that came in my head. But like,
Yeah.
simplest one would be saying my name is Aaron, so it'd be Watashi wa Aaron-san.
Okay. Bet. Bet. That's what's up. That's what's up. My family, we have a family group message. Cliff titled it. That's my brother, but you know Cliff. But ain't playing the same football team as him. You know,
We definitely put
you
it.
know this man. So anyway, he started a group message for the family one day, and it stuck. And he called it Family Matters Season 7. My inference was that the original show stopped at Season 6. I don't know, but he called it
That's
Family
actually
Matters
fun.
Season
I like
7. It's five. It's five. And he made this group chat just to send us all something one time. But like we hit the group message every day. Like I have messages right now just sitting there waiting in the family group message to get back to whenever we're gonna be done with this. But Gayleen, my sister, she has a family, a husband, two children,
that.
and they're all one of my youngest nephews like in like kindergarten, first grade. Another one's like about to go to high school here, so they getting old now. But they started learning Spanish on Duolingo, and I'm me just being arrogant. I'm like, man, y'all got to catch up to me. Like I already know my Spanish, and so I just haven't done it. But
Do
it's
you really?
been no, it's been like a whole like I got the Duolingo and I started doing it, and I'm uh, like me llamo es Felipe. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. Hola, me llamo es Felipe. Whatever, blah blah blah. Cause like all the Spanish you took in high school. Nah, they like that now. Like
Hey,
they've been doing Spanish for a whole year, bro, and I have not gotten to it at all. I'm like, man. I got to get back on
Come
it
on,
now.
come on, stop.
Yeah, I'm still stuck it. But I knew a little bit. I didn't realize how much Spanish I'd retained over the years. I guess it's like that's like one of those things that's like a universal concept. It's like just repetition. Like in terms of learning, like if you're gaining any kind of knowledge or skill, like just repetition, like just driving in those pathways. And so I did Spanish here and there throughout my whole life. But like even now, my roommate Mason put on some Spanish rap the other day, and he put it on. I'm sitting there listening, like, okay, I could pick up some of this. I know he mad about something. And it's like, no me gusta, or whatever. I'm like, he don't like that. Like, I'm picking up on this. But that's hey, shout out to you, bro. You really out here learning Japanese.
Yeah. I mean,
You better be watching. You not about to be watching
no
sub or
subtitle
dub.
at all.
No sub or dub. You got to be watching.
No, it was actually like that. So beginning of Corona, I was actually out here just like able to throw the TV on the anime and like clean the dishes and like still kind of follow along. I'm behind now, so I gotta get back. But like I just
Oh,
re-downloaded the app, so I'm about to get back to yeah.
oh,
Oh yeah,
that's big.
no, all the cuss words.
Oh snap! So what you watching lately?
Well, obviously AOT last
Okay.
season. Shout out to
Yeah,
AOT.
yeah.
Attack on Titan. Are you caught up?
Actually, nah, but no, I'm not. But I wanted to hear your opinions on that because you have expressed both favorable and unfavorable opinions on the latest season of Attack on Titan.
On the latest season, and this, I mean, it's something everybody heard, right? You know what I'm talking about. The CGI that don't bothers me because the animation is just so nasty. I mean, normally it's nasty in a good way, like just
Yeah.
disgusting. But then now it's like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Because I remember when I first saw Attack on Titan, and they were doing they had the what do you call it, the
OVA.
ODM. What do you call it?
ODM gear. Yeah.
And they were like, it was like one scene. I remember it was first starting. I think it was Mikasa or somebody, but they was like going through the streets, and the camera was like following them, like from like a rear view, and they were just like, and I was like, yo, this is the finest animation I've ever seen.
Yeah, and in that season 3 with Levi.
Yeah, when he fought.
No, that was the scene that got you. That's the scene that made you a believer because you was really hating for a second, and I had to tell you.
It was season 2. It was season 2.
Season 2, yeah. Season 2 wasn't good. But I told you, you got to just like get through season
muscle
2.
Through it. You actually sat me. You bullied me into watching season 2 because you sat me down, and it was that. And what was the other show we were watching?
Neon. No,
was it Neon?
It might have been Neon.
It might have been. It was something else that you was putting me on. What was it?
It might during that time I was definitely going through Neon. During that time, you talking about last like
it might have been, yeah, because it was. I remember because you were trying to show me both shows in the same sitting, like you were trying to switch episodes between the shows, and I'm like, bruh, we're gonna have to stick to one of these anime because I'm getting into both of them.
No, you
pissing me off.
You had started Neon because I told you Neon was crazy, and you were like,
yeah. Okay.
Shot. So let me go ahead and listen to what he got to say. You threw on Neon. You went through like 6 episodes in like one night or some John.
Nah. I definitely watched Neon Genesis Evangelion in like a week. That happened.
A few days, yeah.
That happened.
That show, I still don't know if I had the courage to go back through it. Honestly,
I was about to. You buckle up. We gonna find out because I'm about to go back through it. I'm about to go back through it again. Because it was way too much.
You just casually go back to them.
But you know how long it's been? And you know how critical I've been of it for so long?
Yeah. So remind me why you're so critical on it.
Because it was like, first of all, it was goated, bro. For like the first, and you know, like our whole thing, episode 18.
Episode 18, dude. Episode 18 was everything changes.
It's always somewhere between like in the 26 episode animes. It's always somewhere between like episode 15 and 20, or like 15 to 18. One of them episodes gonna go crazy. But anyway, up until like episode 20, honestly, like episode 24. Episode 24 was fire. Episode 25, episode 26. It was just such a. I was so ready to say this anime is like goated. I'm like so ready to say, and it's like obviously like you throwing that term around loosely, but Neon Genesis, Like
Yeah,
I'm hearing like, oh man, like this is fire. This is
yeah.
crazy. Like he's putting so much into this show and it's whatever. But then the last two episodes were so trash.
Here's the
Trash.
thing, bro.
They were trash. And then the thing is, he realized they were trash and then put out well, I probably circumstantially I should be screaming on this man's show, but your show is trash. Nah, but no, like literally defeat the whole purpose of the show. But high key. But he made that show to where you can't say nothing about it because you would just be literally falling
You-
into the stereotype of the show.
oh,
But
yeah.
go ahead. You better say.
No, go ahead. It's gonna be.
No, it was just such a good show, but like it wrapped the last two episodes up so poorly to the point to where
I
I
told you. I
was.
gave you
You told me,
the
and
disclaimer.
you gave me the disclaimer, and then the movie. This man was like, okay, this joint was so bad, I'm gonna do a movie just to clear it up. And then the movie was okay. It was okay. Okay, if you were to combine the movie with the
Show that might have been better. That's how I do it. That's how I picture it in my head, though.
endings, yeah, because you told me you personally crafted you selectively
I
picked
created my own.
whichever-
Oh, here's the thing, bro. Because I was just talking about it today. I was talking to Dre and his girl. And, I'm a salesman, right? So
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
salesman
yeah.
on it. So she was over here. We were over here talking about like One Tree Hill and Boy Meets World. Did I ever put
Uh-huh.
you on the show?
Yeah, because you showed me episode. What was it? Some episode like 12. You got your episodes.
No, I think I was Boy Meets World. I got you on that.
Boy Meets World. Which one did you say just now?
I said One Tree Hill and Boy Meets World.
Oh, okay, bad. I never seen One
Oh.
Tree Hill, but Boy Meets World, you definitely put me on.
Boy Meets World is fine. We need to go through that.
Yeah.
Bro, I have to go through it again. You got to go through it fully.
Originally.
Yeah. But no, we were just talking about the depth in those shows, and we had some people, bro. Literally, we had a group of people after church sitting around talking about anime and all these entertainment stuff. And she's sitting here like, I don't know if I can get into all that. But then we start talking about One Tree Hill and this is and that, and this is us. And I'm like, look, you too open minded to just be saying no to anime.
Yeah.
Truth be told, you just like some people can't break out the conventions. But what I tell people is like, look, you like all the little Marvel movies and like they like the Hollywood stuff and they like all these.
If you have the nerve, if you have the audacity to call yourself like a comic book nerd, if you have the audacity to say I like comic books, well, we have something.
We have no. There's something
a whole lot. I'm not gonna say better.
There is
really
something
good, different. But
here's the thing. All the money, like all the effort that we put into like live action, bro. Just imagine a whole nation putting in all the work into manga and anime. There's something for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not just all Dragon Ball Z. Everybody always thinks it's Dragon Ball Z. It's not just Dragon Ball Z. There's some deep stories. So anyway, what I was talking to her about, man, she we were trying. It ended up being like a competition, right? So she's talking to Dre, and she's like, "Look, I'll watch whatever anime you want me to if you watch Vampire Diaries." And it's like, I don't know if Vampire Diaries is good. I would give it. No, she sold it pretty well. She was talking about like she said it makes you hopeful for humanity because this guy like has to like isolate himself. His very nature is harm, and he's trying to like he's trying to like redeem himself from centuries of like hurting human beings. And he just wants to be human.
Oh, so it's like actually Vampire Diaries. Like it's his vampire's diary.
I don't know. I have no
about him reconciling with the human race.
I guess so. I mean, the way she said it sounded pretty good. But I'm like, okay, so you can break down a whole show like that. I said, let me tell you about Cowboy. Right. Let me tell you about Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. And then I went on to Neon afterwards. Okay. But I told her about Cowboy. I said, look. I said, okay. So basically, she was like, even the name sounds terrible. That's true. The name does not sound good.
Cowboy Bebop sounds fire.
I hated the name. That's why I didn't watch it for years, actually.
But like when you even bro, like Cowboy Bebop. Anyway, carry on. My bad. Carry on.
Well, it just like Bebop just sounds so corny to me. I don't know. I hated it. It's the same reason I didn't get into Red Hot Chili Peppers until 2 years ago.
It took me a while to get into Red. Yeah. Actually, I had no idea who they were. Red Hot Chili Peppers. It sounded like like a knockoff. One Direction. So like, what is it? What's the Big Time Rush or something? Like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like Big Time Rush.
That is so disrespectful.
That's so disrespectful. It's so like after I listened to him, that's so disrespectful of a statement. But beforehand, I thought,
But So I'm telling her, I'm like, look, Cowboy Bebop. I told her where the name comes from, like the ship and how. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
basically, it just centers around some bounty hunters in space, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
Space
four
Cowboys.
space cowboys exactly, and they're like four four or five broken individuals, who that can't stand each other, but they don't realize they need each other. But more than that, which you helped me to get that point, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, yo, more than that, it's people trying to reconcile with their past, right? These
Yeah.
people who are stuck, they've had some kind of traumatic event happen, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
stuck between living and being alive. The main character, Spike, he is an idealist.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh man. Hit us with that remaining time.
Hi. Oh, you got
Oh,
it
you
too.
got it. Yeah, I see it. I can see it. But here's the thing. I mean, I can. Mine don't have it.
Oh, so we'd have to go to a whole new. Yeah, we stitch the. Yeah. All right, bet. So,
Okay. So
yeah. Whenever
as
we'll.
we
Yeah.
go, that's Satan right there. Trying to
Mm-hmm.
get. I'm just playing. No,
No weapon.
no weapon. No, bro. So I'm not gonna lie. Actually, anime really did get me through last year. I'm not even gonna cap to you,
Yeah.
but it's another subject. So I'm like it's four or five broken people if you include the dog, and
Who is a character?
he is
Slick.
he is actually he's like the smartest one on the ship if we're
But
being honest.
what? Never mind. I'm gonna let
All
you
right,
go.
so four broken people, had a traumatic event and they all stuck between living and dying. Now, I even draw a correlation between Great Gatsby. I don't know if you have you ever seen the connection between the Great Gatsby and Cowboy?
How so? Please enlighten me. Unpack that one.
Okay. So I've read The Great Gatsby a couple times, but I still probably could be a little more refreshed on it. But the biggest things that stuck out to me,
You
thematic,
said you did what to Great Gatsby?
a couple times. I read it 2 times.
You read it 2 times?
Yeah.
Shouts out to you, bro. F. Scott Fitzgerald is not
No,
he ain't
it's not
soft,
my
bro.
kind of book.
He like that though. That's
He,
just
it,
high Lexile range. Like one F. Scott Fitzgerald sentence is like a short story. But carry on.
I mean, like I had to read it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I was gonna cap and be like, "Oh, I just read it in my free time." No, I did not. No, but no, man. They use this. F. Scott, F. Scott Fitzgerald. He's talking about like this constant idealism. Like Gatsby holds on to this image of Daisy from when they were in the war
Mm-hmm.
together. And he crafts this whole persona in an attempt to reach the unattainable. He's living a lie, and he's living his life rather around this unattainable
Mm-hmm.
ideal. And so even when he gets spoiler alert, even when he comes into contact,
You ain't seen or read Gatsby by now, bro. Just this is not even. This is just information.
it's just information. No, by the time he gets around to it, I mean, it's a letdown because she can't be the perfect woman that he expects her to be. She doesn't
This
even
idea
care.
that he's created.
She doesn't even care when he dies. Really, she don't even bat an eye. Tough. I know that's
And
how
she was heartless about that.
she was.
She
She was one of
was.
my living her
Because
life.
the thing was, she did love Gatsby, bro. That movie. We'll talk about that, bro. Yeah, we're
Yeah, it
gonna talk
makes me
about
mad. But Spike's the same way because Spike's over here. He is
Oh
stuck
yeah,
in the image. Yeah, exactly. The image of
yeah,
someone in his past,
yeah.
and he can't get if she's not in his life, he really can't figure
He's
out.
dead, pretty
He's
much.
dead internally. He's dead.
Yeah,
He's very reckless. You never see him get serious until Julia comes up
that's true.
or Vicious.
Yeah,
But
one of those
Vicious
two. Vicious,
affected
he definitely
him
was getting
truly
real when Vicious came up.
well.
For sure. He was getting real when Vicious came up.
So anyway, my whole point was basically saying like it's the same thing. This man Spike he is living his life on the hopes of he feels like this ideal has been taken away from him, and therefore his reason of living has been taken away. The only way he can find out if he's really alive is to either acquire that ideal or to die, and to figure out if he really can die at all. And
Yeah,
it's even a place.
he's referenced several times throughout the show that he's already died. Yeah,
And
he
so, are we
died
talking
once
about a
before.
spiritual death, or are we
Yeah,
talking about a physical death? Probably a little. I mean, probably a little bit of both. I know. You know what I'm saying? But it's
yeah. It just occurred to me though, as you were talking about it just now. another one of the beautiful things about Bebop was that, like, yeah, everybody came there with damage, but like Bebop was quite literally, Bebop itself was the vehicle of like their, yeah, how they got through the, because they all came in with their different baggage and whatnot, and they all came in thinking they needed, or like thinking they needed something else. You know what I'm saying? Like feeling dead or feeling like incomplete from life itself, and then I received that life from each other, I suppose. But
some of them do actually overcome that trauma.
yeah, that's what I'm
Some of them
saying. And
don't.
so
That's
they
the other
help
part.
each other heal. Like to a sense, it's just like the human connection. I don't know. Maybe that's what, because they just coexisted. That was it. Just eating
That
beans
was
and,
it.
I mean, what was
Just
it?
hit
Bell
each
peppers and beef.
other up.
Bell peppers and beef. Just bell
Bell pepper.
peppers. But
Wow.
yeah, nah, man. I all the time I be trying to tell people like, yeah, bro, you talk down on the anime wave, and then shouts out to RDC World One, because we was just talking about that before we came on, because Cliff sent me the link to the video, and I was saying it must be funny, whatever, because yeah, he sent it to me. But nah, shout out to them boys, because they really have popularized the genre a lot,
Right.
a whole lot. They really have, and they kind of
Yeah.
made it cool a little bit. Yeah, like people, I've had more conversations with. I mean, you know, the folks who have just seen maybe a dabble of Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. Like just the original, they ain't seen Dragon Ball or like Super and then like that. They just have seen the Dragon Ball Z in their childhood. But even more so, like them boys will start tweeting at me on Twitter, like, "Hey, Goku wasn't whatever, blah blah blah." I'll be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And people
yeah."
still play Dragon Ball Z, but we're not even gonna talk about that today.
You said
We'll
people what?
get into that. People be trying to play Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, we got to
People be
set
trying to
aside
play
a whole time frame for that one.
it. So I'm telling you, there's a lot of hidden depth in Dragon Ball Z, man. I mean,
Uh,
you know me. I'm always looking for
yeah. Just
hidden depth in like
stupid
the.
analytical, just ignorantly analytical to any kind of media content.
Which brings me back to Neon Genesis, right?
Yeah,
Because I have never seen such a marriage between art and the human emotional spectrum. I've never ever seen that.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if I'll ever see it again.
Uh,
In some
that's kind of
ways,
what we here for.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
'Cause I
That's
want.
what.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some things lined up in the pipeline, so hopefully,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll get to that when the time comes, though.
Yeah. We talk. We
No,
talk.
but um, I mean, even you're talking about Shinji, right? He's such
Hmm.
an atypical protagonist.
Very much so. At least shonen. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this
Yeah.
dude, you want to just smack him every time you see him. He just
I was
complains.
not a big Shinji fan at the beginning of the show. I was not. I'm like
No,
one of my biggest pet peeves. Like one thing that really does disgust me is like is like just emotional weakness. I suppose I don't mean like vulnerability, but
he
I
said
mean like
disgust. That's a
disgust. Yeah, yeah. But when I say that, that's like a
word
very
right there.
strong. That's like a very strong statement. So like let me clear up like what I mean. I don't mean like vulnerability. I don't mean like being emotionally susceptible to like different situations and whatnot. But like to some extent, like just inevitably, like in any situation you're in, like you've been put in a situation, and it's like regardless of like the surrounding context, like past or present or whatever, like you right now at this fixed point, and like if you don't do something about it to change your trajectory, then you will be there. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that what I'm talking about is like I just Shinji did get under my skin a little bit, but then I started to understand the show a little more, and I'm like, okay, so Shinji's like just a caricature, I guess, of like, ooh, it says we have less than a minute, so I'm gonna start throttling down. We can just transition
All right,
whenever you want. Yeah, let's just
word and then
transition.
going right next one.
Yeah.
Nah,
But
they might as well just end it
yeah, that's what I was
now.
saying. All right.
Nah,
And we are back. Yeah, but nah, Shinji definitely took some warming up too, for me at least.
you know what, man? I feel like I hate to say it, but like a part of me really related to him, and it's weird because I don't behave that way.
Exactly. That's what I was saying when I realized he was like a caricature. He was just like the manifestation or like these
But
different things incarnate, pretty much. Yeah.
he is, man, and it's like honestly, watching Neon Genesis, it really depends on the emotional state that you're in life right then.
Hmm.
Like if you can really sit there and empathize with it, it's gonna hit you where you live. You know what I'm saying? Like like Hideaki Anno, the director of it,
Hmm.
he was literally pouring out his internal state. Like this is the state he had been living in for 4 years, his psychological
Hmm.
state. And he was like in a master depressant. He just pushed that all out there. And he had a kid, a character who was not heroic. Like even when he was a hero, people still hated him. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
that's gonna trend. I have another top. I want to. That's gonna make me transition to something else I want to bring up. So don't let me forget.
All
The
right. Cool.
okay,
Yeah.
but um, man, it's like that's the truth. Like that's the reality. Like it's hard to go on sometimes when no matter how hard you try, like
Hmm.
sometimes it's still not good enough. Sometimes you're still gonna be rejected. Sometimes you're gonna let people in. Like everybody tells you, you gotta let people in,
Hmm.
but in reality, I mean, that hurts. I mean, that's the whole hedgehog dilemma. Did I tell you about that?
The Hedgehog Dilemma.
Hedgehog dilemma. So basically, it's like a bunch of hedgehogs are cold in the middle of the night, right? And they need, in order to survive, they need to huddle together. But the closer they get, exactly,
Yeah.
the more likely they are to hurting the other. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about the human experience, right?
Hmm.
The more you let people in, the more likely you are to end up hurt and damaged.
Yeah, but also the implication of like the necessity, like you said, the porcupines need to get together for warmth. It's like the human, I guess, like design was for like community. Like that's what we're designed. Like just the way we interface and like even
Right,
like stuff like teamwork. I don't know, like just existence of teamwork is such a cosmic thing.
right.
Like the fact that we can just exponentially do better at one thing if we just combine our efforts. So it's not like, and this is terrible. It's not 2 plus 2. It's 2 to the second power, which is the same thing. But people be like, "Oh, it's easy. It's 2 plus 2." You know what I'm saying? So 2 and 2 always come to
That was a
mind.
terrible example.
Yeah. So it's not
Yeah,
three. It's not
so
3 plus 3, which would be 6. It's 3 to the third power. Exactly. But like um
that was
and that was like the whole idea with like the human instrumentality, except that wasn't the whole idea because Akari just wanted it. Yeah. But anyway, this we not gonna get too far into
like
Neon
a
because
rabbit hole.
we'll be stuck here all day.
We will. But here's the thing, bro. That brings me all the way back to the ending. And the reason why I really appreciate it because he kind of did the impossible the way I see it. He tried to solve the human dilemma of like all these negative emotions and like still
Hmm.
choosing to survive. So like the way I see it, I'll forget all the BS of the first episode 25 and then most of episode 26 except for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what you see is you see Shinji like as a normal boy in high school or whatever he's in, and he's living life. He meets Ray, the new girl. Atsuka is like
Hmm.
a loud girl in class or something like that. But it's
Atsuka
like
was a problem.
she was, and she was a G too.
Yeah, she was thugging. She really
But
turned the whole show up when she touched down.
she changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like for a second, you start thinking, oh man, what if all this was really a dream? But not just a dream, but the internalization of all these adversity. This young boy who's going through puberty, who's going, who's coming into contact with the real world and real emotions and real hurt. He's got
Hmm.
a distant father. He has a mother who loves him. What if this is just his manifestation of all these other things, right?
Hmm.
Now
His
that
mother
doesn't
who's
end up
dead.
being his mother's dead, exactly the
Yeah.
love that he's always longing for.
Yeah.
So that doesn't end up being necessarily the truth, but it's a possible reality of how. First of all, I think that's just the way that they even manifest that was amazing because that would be the perfect outlet for a young boy who's dealing with all these emotions. Like in terms of making it tangible,
Hmm.
Neon Genesis is a very tangible, like very
Yeah.
relatable
Yeah.
way to externalize all these emotions that they like a young dude might.
Yeah.
But then you go to the end and you see the Human Instrumentality Project, and Shinji basically rejects instrumentality. He rejects it in favor of staying an individual, retaining the right to um, interact with human beings, retaining the right to be hurt.
Yeah.
but also retaining the right to feel joy and pain,
Mm-hmm.
all the ups and downs of life as a young boy. So it's
Yeah.
like a coming of age and also a conquering of this fear um, to be stuck in your hurt. Like
Mm-hmm.
that to me, I mean, it spoke to me in a way that I've never seen another piece of art do. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Now,
about
one thing that was really cool to me was like how he over dramatized, I guess, like just Shinji's just his frailty and whatnot. And
reality.
then like also like you would see him go through these things and it's like, bro, like you just kind of you misreading this whole thing, or like you just whatever, like all this is literally all you have to do in this situation to
Just
whatever
getting
this situation, or you would literally have to whatever. But when you think about it, like from another perspective, like from a third party, most of the time, honestly, even me personally, like in the moments, or anyone personally, literally any given moment, you can look back at like the previous 5 minutes and be like, man, all you had to do was do this. Like, how did you not see that then? You know what I'm saying? Or so like with the Shinji thing is like it's like a lot of that stuff was yeah, them boys back there watching Patrice O'Neal on the on the YouTube, so they cracking up back there. But it was like a lot of stuff. Like even it seems like for him, it like just seems ridiculous, or whatever. But like once you the whole a lot of a huge component of anime is like just introspection. So like once you've watched anime, it's like like the introspective side or whatever to it. But looking at it, it's like, well, honestly, there's a lot of times I can see like in my own life to where I might have not even might have. And I feel like you and I are both prone to this. There's sometimes we might read too far into a situation. You know what I'm saying? We might just read
Even
a
with
little too far
yeah,
into it. Yeah, yeah. And so I'm like, man, like honestly, I can see how I probably do the same thing a lot. And also it helps me take note of it. Like in certain situations, I'll be like, hold on, I'm on my Shinji right now.
yeah.
Like I'm tripping, I'm tripping.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be in my Gendo.
Oh no.
Just yeah, keep away from just plotting. Just
We were on the when we were on the Bible study Zoom earlier,
just sitting there, just
and we
sitting.
were just sitting there. You were just sitting there like this, or you'd be like, "I'm like, Aaron, you got something you want to say, bro?" Like, nah.
I'm just plotting on all y'all. Watch
I'm just plotting on the human nature mentality.
out, man, man. Hey, but that brings me to something I don't know if I ever talked to you about. But like that is the the thing that really made me have appreciation for Western storytelling. Period.
Yeah.
So this is something I realized. I realized that like
You mean
sorry, did I say
Eastern?
Western Eastern, excuse me.
Oh yeah, we realized at the same time.
So like, I feel like Western storytelling it has this convention, and I personally feel like it is from us being a mm, more or less God-centered society, or morally, still along those conventions, um, where we are kind of like ends based, right?
And what
So
based?
ends based,
Okay.
and there's a lot of dichotomies, good and evil, and all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's always like the journey, like the heroes are trying to get to the end goal, and they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
reach. Once at the end, this is when they attain. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. This
Like
is what they've won.
they wanted it in the beginning, and they attain it at the end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Versus what I see in Japanese stories, which really do a lot of mixing in between. They go in between, right? They go into the
Mm-hmm.
muddiness of life, which
Yeah, definitely
is
a lot of gray areas.
a lot of gray areas because, and I personally think that it stems from the fact that Eastern cultures, you know, especially we're talking about like Japan or whatever, Shinto,
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism, whatever, Confucianism, um, God is not really a major part of their day to day life.
Yeah.
Right. So now you got to find other reasons for existence. Even if you're talking about, I'm sorry, just go back to Western, even if we're talking about like atheism, I'm just talking about the society it was crafted around, still
Yeah.
has those constructs.
Yeah,
But
definitely Bible Belt played a huge part in the
Bible,
yeah.
yeah. Even if we're talking about going all the way back to like England and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just in general,
Catholicism, all that.
right. But the role of the gods in day to day life, like you probably would consider most Japanese, just from some videos I'd seen and some studying I'd seen, that most of them just probably like agnostic, just really don't care,
Yeah.
right? And now you have to find another reason to go through the hardships in life. Like,
Uh-huh.
why is Shinji even supposed to like come back and accept people
That's
if
true.
it just you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
that
the
is
point.
true. That is
He
true.
just has to choose to do it for what reason. He just has to find it.
Yeah.
And so you have in anime, you got characters who start out with a stated purpose, and a lot of times, like for instance, Attack on Titan, Eren Yeager just starts out with his goal to kill the Titans, kill all the Titans. But as he goes through evolution, you
Hold
realize
on.
what?
I'm just going. There we go. So
All I'm trying to say is that you realize everything is not what it seems, and Eren's end goal is not what his first goal was. It's about the evolution. It's really about the journey.
Yeah,
It's really
that's
about
really what it is. Or never mind. See, I was just about to hop off of the whole anime wave, but
I mean, no, go
when you
ahead.
talk about the journey, Samurai Champloo.
Samurai.
No,
Yeah.
we got to talk about Samurai if we gonna talk about the journey.
Yeah.
But nah. Yeah. They do definitely go on the journey. That's my recommendation, honestly. If I'm gonna recommend an anime to any anime beginner, it depends. I would obviously do like a Dragon Ball or Naruto.
Depending on the person, yeah.
Well, honestly, right now, you said Cowboy. It depends because we're older now, I guess, and like that's like a more yeah.
Well, sophisticated, that's true.
But honestly, but anyway, if you Samurai Champloo is a good one. It's about these three people who just have two swordsmen, one girl who's trying to find another samurai that smells of sunflowers. That was her dad. That's a spoiler, but it's a 90s anime. It's 90s.
Whoa.
But I mean, like, he has nothing to do with the whole show anyway. Like we said, it's about the journey. So anyway, she's trying to find her dad, pretty much. Yeah. And Mugen doesn't care about life.
Mugen does not care.
He doesn't care about life.
The chip on his shoulder, really.
You said what?
The chip on his shoulder, really. That's really what he is.
Yeah. Just mad at the world.
What I want to clarify though, because it doesn't matter if the characters get to where they say that they wanted to go. It's just like the whole purpose is more so everything in between. There's so many different twists and turns.
The journey,
At the end, it's like, man, I mean, yeah, we care that you found the samurai who smells like sunflowers, but really, I don't know. How did you justify every day going between that? You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have some kind of cosmic reason for living a lot of times. It's just you got to find a way to live. And you got to evolve. Yeah. And like me, that resonated because we just think so binarily, and life has some situations that's just in between. It's like people want to have like a formula, or people want to have like they say, oh, you know, when I was in this situation, this is what I did. Or I read this book, and it's like, bro, I did what you said in the book. I did what you said. I read the book, but the situation's still not turning out how I wanted to. And it's like that's what I find in Eastern storytelling a lot that I really resonate.
Yeah, I think I did send you that clip. I was watching a podcast. It was Brian Greene and Joe Rogan one. You said you still ain't watch it, huh?
I still didn't watch it after you reminded me to watch it.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at you because I mean, there's a million things people ask me to watch and I forget. You know this, but when he was talking about like just the evolutionary value of storytelling, and then pretty much just gonna sum it up. But he went on this whole. He's like this physicist guy, like this renowned physicist. But he was talking about how like when you listen to these stories, or like when you listen to storytellers tell stories, or people pass on this information, it's like you get to run these simulations like in your imagination, so it's completely harm free. Like nothing hurts, but you're just running simulation of different situations through your mind. So when you do come face to face with the situation, you're more familiar with it. And then like just the process of visualization, it was like one of my first, actually this was really cool. It's really cool how like when you grow up you realize how much wisdom like your parents have, or like grandparents, like stuff they say, and it's like the most fundamental, like the most simplistic like truths, like universal truths tend to be the most profound, like as you grow older and realize how whatever it is. But she used to tell me like see yourself making a play before you do it, like on the way to the game, like when you're driving on the bus, like visualize, like go through your steps and whatnot, like in your head, see it. Like don't be talking on the bus, don't get distracted, because you know you get distracted easily, Phil. I'm like, yeah, I do. But anyway, she just said that to me. But then like even like as of like just later on, like through life, like that the whole visualization thing became like a huge point of emphasis in like self-help stuff and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, that one little piece, it's not gonna get you there. like you were saying with all the different like components, whatever. But that's what they were talking about on the it's on the Brian Green episode, and it starts at like 56 minutes and goes to like an hour and 5 minutes. So if you want to listen to it, or if anyone else wants to listen to it, check it out. But yeah, it's really cool, man. He was talking about that kind of stuff. So
that is interesting, man.
yeah.
Hey, man, we're really like just even the evolution of our conversations, right? Over the last 4 or 5 years, I've known you.
I don't know what time we started. I don't know what time it is right now. We're supposed to start at 1. It's 5 o'clock. So,
well, just our conversations now, man. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm surprised you made it this far without your water bottle, bro. He's got it right there. I didn't think you had it on you, bro. My boy stay strapped.
Stay strapped. Hey, most hydrated do you know, bro?
Yeah, for real. You might have the crown, bro. You had a crown.
No, man. And it's like you can really see like our growth trajectory, like our character development. If we're talking in terms of anime, like the trajectory we've been on, man. And the conversations we have is we're like just pondering and like finding things relatable on any kind of content.
Yeah.
Like you can just see. I don't know. Like remember how we were talking about, I guess, that evolution into like just becoming a man, like the responsibility of like knowledge of the world.
Oh yeah.
Like just trying to figure out all that stuff. I mean, what were you saying?
I was saying, I was actually I texted the Family Matters group chat I was telling you about. I texted him one time and I was like, man, I've been learning so much stuff. Like just lately, like my eyes are becoming like so open to different things. So I'm like, man, I gotta do something with all this information. I thought about that thing. I was like, you know what? I'm just growing up. I'm just getting older. But like just simple, like I'm realizing like how much like responsibility and just the smaller, like I said, like the most simplistic truths tend to be like the most profound ones. It wasn't like discipline, like organization, like small things like that. But just realizing how essential like the smaller decisions are, like day to day. Because like the way I look at it, I've only observed like 2 different types of decisions I make myself, which is like there's like magnitude decisions that I make, and then there's like trajectory decisions that I make. So like when I'm in high school and I was like deciding whether I was gonna go to like whatever school I was going to go to, and I was like committed to this one school, and I had like offers from this other school that I really liked, but then the Citadel came into the equation, and then I realized like when the Citadel came into an equation, like this decision just went from like a magnitude decision, like I was about to start talking about scalars and vectors, but I'm gonna leave that out of this. But it went from like a magnitude decision to like a trajectory decision, to where like, okay, so Citadel, instead of just going even harder this way, which would like to be football, Citadel will introduce this entire different direction that I could go in. You know what I mean? Wow. And so like when it came to that decision, it's like these small different things, and like even like for the magnitude decisions, like Drew, I was telling Drew, I was like, bro, you know how many like less problems we would have in life right now if like when we were at the Citadel, we just decided, okay, like yeah, whatever, I'm gonna roll my socks up with the smileys, or I'm gonna iron a duty every day, or I'm a whatever. Like just becoming accustomed to like doing what you have to do, like right then in that moment, or like doing these different things, and then like the gravity of it. And so it was like it was frivolous, whatever, when we were at the Citadel, whenever we were going to school. But like when you get older in life, it's like you got to pay that bill. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay that bill. You got to do all these different things. And I'm doing all these things. I'm not like really having a problem with it. But then I was like, this is huge. Like I thought it was so just pointless. Like when I was younger, like as a kid, I told my mom, I said, man, you be mad at me if you realize I can't leave clothes on my bathroom floor now. I can't do it. I'll be trying. Like I'll be rushing out of the house and I'll be like, it's my bathroom. I'm just gonna get them when I get back. And I'm like, nah, bro, you can't leave no clothes on the floor. And like throwing my little hampers and whatnot. But just stuff like that, man. I'm like, this is insane how much just really, I guess, like the stuff that my folks was trying to tell me when I was younger, like how much it really does come into play. It's a whole different world on that other side. It's a whole different world on the other side. Because it's like, man, if I fumble this sack, then I'm just not gonna have somewhere to live. Or like if I mess this one up, I'm gonna lose my job. So you know what I'm saying? So Ain't no missing class and get a slap on the wrist. It's like, hey, bro, we got money to make.
People counting on you. Yeah. And if they
Yeah, like we
count on
got
you,
money to
they
make.
gonna find somebody else. Like you got
Hmm.
to be worth every single day,
Yeah,
especially.
literally got to show up every day and be what you're worth every single day. Every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. And I work in sales, so even I mean,
You really got to get it.
you're looking at your numbers every few hours. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So.
Yeah, yeah. That's Mason back there going crazy.
Man. Um.
Oh my.
Um. Let me get this up. Yo, check check out the text.
Yeah, no. I did see that. I did see that message, but I was thinking, I was like, bro, we gonna sit here and talk all day. We could just, yeah, we might hit that one up next time. How long? How long are we in right now?
We got like. I
40.
mean, not like on the recording, but like until 5.
Okay.
Be the most considered.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, if we want to wind it down, we have absolute autonomy. Like this podcast, we don't have to stick to any schedule. If you want to,
I think. Yeah. Well,
this is a good place to throttle. I mean, we don't even have to edit this. This is freedom.
This is
if you watching this, you just subject to our conversation.
You just subject. You literally just apply the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
We might edit this out. We might not.
We might.
Ultimately, up to us. But
dude, growing up ain't easy, man. Growing up ain't easy.
Yeah, nah. It's really not. It's cool though. I like it. It's really cool. It's really for some reason, bro. This is really weird. Except I'm like this. But anyway, for some reason, like the gravity of like all of this is like really enticing. Like for some reason, when I go to work, it's like, bro, if I don't show up today, like I'm gonna lose my job. I'll be like, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it on today, bro. I don't know.
It's just a theme for
smoke. Smoke, just in general. I'll be like, yeah, let's get it on today. Like they think I'm not gonna come through with my delivery today, or this brief I have a presentation on. Just you wait. You wait.
Hey, but you reminded me of something I wanted to share. Because I'm about to give a shout out to Dre, because he actually be dropping ridiculous knowledge bombs that will sit with you for a minute.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, because you were talking about the stuff my parents told me years ago. If I knew this, you know what I'm saying, like I'll be ahead or whatever. Nah, but
I guess they said my time limit on the podcast is up.
It's cool, bro. I'm about to be finished. Look, man, this man Dre said, he said the young rediscover what the old found and call it new.
I do remember you shared that one. I do remember you told me that the other day. I said that's fine.
That's
fine. That's fine.
And the profundity, I believe, of that statement.
Make it up.
Make it up.
I know what you're saying. Profoundness, profundity, whatever you want to say.
I don't know. No. That statement, man, it's resonated. I'm pretty sure he said like 4 years ago. I never forgot it. Never forgot it.
Yeah.
But like as I'm going through life, thinking I had known stuff, and then realizing I don't know jack. It's like, or even when I found
nothing
stuff,
new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. I mean, it goes back to the Bible. It's a very basic principle, but there's always room for improvement, I guess. Can't forget that.
Yeah.
Can't forget that. So I'm gonna keep striving to refine the things that are handed down, right? My goal is always
like Naruto did Dragon Ball Z.
All right, watch out. Yeah. What's that?
Stop.
Nah. Double portion is my goal. Double portion of the generations. I mean, the things that the generation before me handed down, the knowledge that I have, the wisdom, the experiences that did not come from me, that I was able to watch and gain from. Shoot, folk like Rashad, man.
Yeah.
If I could have a piece of the impact that Rashad had, man.
Boy's taking off. But anyway, Cam.
No,
it ain't leaving.
I hope this isn't like blasphemous, whatever. But the impact Rashad had in his short window, bro. People was treating him like a modern day Moses. Like this dude was ridiculous, and that was our mentor for people who don't know. 26-year-old dude who had the crazy impact on everybody.
Yeah, that was the most, I guess, intimately I had ever witnessed like intentional discipleship. Yeah. And when I say like intimately, I mean like the intimacy of the discipleship. Like you see it. I mean, obviously outside of the OG 12, but like I see like portrayed through like different mediums and whatnot. I see it in different situations in life. Like at least me personally. I mean, like for someone who's not biologically your child, but someone who says like I'm going to mentor you in the faith, like I'm going to mentor you in the walk, and
living with us too.
You said what?
Beside us, he wasn't just talking down to us.
Yeah, exactly. Very vulnerable guy. Yeah, definitely. So he and that's like honestly, that's like the most. If we're going to boil it down, like that's the most critical thing we can do as humans. Or it's like the most critical concept or most critical. What's the word I'm looking for? What? Ritual we have. Or
what is it?
You said what?
What is?
Secession, or not even secession, but like just preparing the next generation of people. You know what I mean? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know the word.
Secession sounds great.
Secession, but I'm saying it's like the most critical. Like, what is it? Tradition? Yeah, like is it tradition? Right, whatever process or thing we do that is critical. That is critical because it's like I'm like I was, and this one's like way in left field, but I was talking to my buddies last night. We have a bunch of friends in town. That's what you've been hearing. A bunch of friends in town from back home.
Yeah, friend coming in right now.
Are they coming in?
Yeah, we still working, bro.
Oh, they leaving? Everybody? All right, cool. Sue's still there? Oh, all right. Well, hold.
What up, man?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna go. We can edit this out. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Okay, They're leaving. They came for the weekend, so.
Okay, yeah. Well, you gotta finish your. All right, so next week we come on Succession and Phil expounding on that concept that he just decided to introduce.
Now we can just cliffhanger. I'm gonna pull an Aaron out here.
No, but look, for everybody who stuck around this long, look, we appreciate y'all. We're just trying to give some new voices out there into the media, some unconventional voices. We talk about anything, everything. Y'all drop what y'all want to in the comments. Let us know. Send us an email at salmonproductions4@gmail.com. You know, let us know how you thought of the podcast, and hey, y'all be easy out there. You know what I'm saying? Tune in next week.
Next week I'm coming on with a musical performance. Not playing.
Not just playing. Hey,
right, bro.
Who knows?
Hey,
all right,
we might pop up. Let me stop.
All
right, bro.
All right, well, peace.
I'm holla at you.